Bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Mitch O'Farrell, el presidente temporal para el Consejo de Los Ángeles. He escuchado a la gente de nuestra ciudad y estoy con angelinos. Good afternoon. I'm Mitch O'Farrell, acting president of the Los Angeles City Council. I stand with the people of Los Angeles, and we cannot heal until Kevin De Leon and Gil Cedillo also resign from the City Council. Therefore, I'm announcing that I am canceling tomorrow's meeting of the City Council, Friday, October 14th. The people's business cannot be conducted until we have these next two resignations. And as I said on Tuesday, in the court of public opinion, the verdict has been rendered, and they must resign. There's too much pain. There's too much deep injury to the soul, to the spirit of this city, and this must happen, and the people have spoken. We are taking this tragedy one moment at a time, and these are the moments, and I just wanted to explain that to all of you. That's the big news of the day. We're still waiting on word. I've been reaching out to these individuals. I've had conversations with my colleagues and keeping everyone up to date to the best of my ability. But that's where we are at this moment. And I'm happy to take some questions.
Mitch, if you
Pete.
strip these people of their assignments on the various city council commissions, isn't that rather broad hint? Your time here is over. You really have no impact on what's going on with the policy.
I believe that's exactly what that is. And that's the power that we're limited to exercise because of the charter is to strip our colleagues of their committee assignments, of their official duties as a council member. The one thing the charter does not allow is for us to force them to resign or to remove them from the office. Only a recall election can accomplish that. But the city charter of Los Angeles does not allow for anything further than that. And that is on the way. The censure is on the way.
You've got, in theory, you would have 3 vacancies on here. Mm-hmm. How is that going to be handled as much as for the constituents of the various districts will be able to talk to City Hall and say, answer my thought towards the CLA going to have to move people to the
Right. So what I've done is I have assigned the CLA as the overseer of the 6th Council District so that the staff can remain intact, so they can continue offering the services, so they can continue connecting constituents of the 6th District into the city services they need. They can do outreach. They can fully operate their district office and stay in to contact with my office on what needs that they might want to exercise on behalf of the constituents of the 6th District until we can have that special election for that council district.
Sir, so you say meetings can't go forward unless these 2 resign, so are you planning on canceling meetings until they resign?
That's where we are at this moment. I'm hopeful that because the call to action and the conversations with Mr. De Leon and Mr. Cedillo are ongoing, and not just from me, but from elected officials and former elected officials from across the entire spectrum, from local to congressional. I mean, the pressure is mounting. It's intense, and for the greater good, for all that representing constituents in public office stands for, the chorus and the unity in demanding these resignations is only growing stronger.
How surprising is it to you that they're remaining this defiant despite all these calls?
It's a little surprising to me. It's a little surprising, quite frankly, because what our jobs are is to put our personal feelings and our personal ambitions and our egos to the side as elected officials and do what's best for the city. Do what's best for our council districts. Do what's best for good government. And that's what is surprising to me. And you had a question.
You said that's where we are at this moment in response to his question about if meetings were canceled indefinitely. By that, do you mean they are canceled until the other two council members resign, or that's where we are, meaning just for Friday?
Just for Friday. I am certainly not prepared, nor am I the one to cancel any meetings indefinitely. But this is a moment-by-moment crisis, and we know that the upset and the unrest that's out there requires that we just keep listening to people. What I would like my colleagues to do tomorrow, what I will certainly be doing tomorrow, is going out into the district in person, answering calls, talking to people, hearing from folks, which I have been since Sunday, from my constituents. And tomorrow is an opportunity for all of us to listen to our constituents and listen to the folks who are harmed so deeply by this, so we can better synthesize these feelings as well heading into the weekend and next week. And you had a question.
What city business has not been done this week as a result of this? Are there any deadlines that have been missed? What specifically has been blown by?
One major piece of business that we were to entertain on Wednesday was the whole independent redistricting issue, calling for an independent redistricting commission moving forward. That is probably the main piece of business. We had several legal settlement cases that have already been through the Finance Committee, and so we need to get on with business. Plus, I've called for the selection of city leadership on Tuesday. So far, we haven't been held up too drastically by city business, but we definitely need to continue. But the message is, what's going to make that a lot easier is to remove these last two obstacles to us moving forward in peace, in getting the business done, and in the spirit of healing, because there's so much of that needs to be done.
Have you spoken with Cedillo and Delon today? And if so, based on your conversation, do you have an indication?
Today, no. Mr. Cedillo and I had a long, very frank conversation yesterday, and he made it really clear that he is taking into consideration the gravity of the moment and what he ultimately is going to need to do. And I can't state what that is right now, but we will continue those conversations. Many of us are doing our best to get a hold of Mr. De Leon, and I'll continue that today as well as I did yesterday. But I'm reaching out to, I've spoken with several of my colleagues, and there's so much work going on to get help these colleagues understand what must happen.
If they resign today, would it be too late then to have a meeting tomorrow? Would you rather have people digest all this and then start fresh on Tuesday?
If I felt that there were going to be 2 additional resignations today, I would not have canceled tomorrow's meeting. I just don't see it happening by then. And I want this, well, I don't really even need to want it. It is. This is a very reflective moment for everyone in the city of Los Angeles. I know that my other colleagues are hearing from their constituents the way I'm hearing from mine. I want to make myself more available tomorrow for that purpose, and I'm quite sure that all of my colleagues will do the exact same, and then we'll be better prepared for the weekend and heading into next week.
Where's the mayor in all of this? Why hasn't he come out and somehow use his position to perhaps pressure these guys into resigning?
I can't speak for the mayor, but I know he has made the calls. And I know that he has publicly done so, and he's privately had the conversations as well.
Do you have a sense of why the 2 are still holding out after we've had 2 other resignations out of the 4?
The only sense I have is what they're going through personally, probably weighing their long history in politics and public service and reconciling this transgression with that. That's just all I can imagine that they're going through. But one thing is clear. They need to put all of that past them and resign right now. That's clear.
2 questions.
Oh, 2 here and 2 here.
First, have you been given any real support from Mayor Garcetti? It looks right now you're literally on point on this issue. He's more or less in the back room. Do you feel he is giving you the support you need so that you can make the decisions?
Let me answer that one, and then I'll answer your next one. I do not feel a lack of support from the mayor. We had a very long conversation Monday evening after Indigenous Peoples Day, and I was at Grand Park all evening long. And he said, "I'm here with whatever you need," and I don't have any concerns about lack of support from our mayor.
The second question is this: you mentioned CLA staff would be able to step in and handle the administrative roles as far as the council officers are concerned. But the actual filling of the positions, with the ability of someone to actually vote on city business, that would be to require the council to appoint someone. We saw the parking cluster that happened the last time with Margaret Lee Thomas, and see this type of thing going on. Is there a timeline that you would consider for that, or would you prefer to go the special election route? How long might that take for that to happen?
Pete, in the interest of transparency, understanding the gravity of this moment, understanding some of the conversations that we've all now been privy to in that recording, I think it would be a terrible mistake to start looking for someone to appoint. I think we would definitely need to hold a special election at the earliest possible convenience, whenever that may be, at the earliest possible convenience.
When that might happen, more or less?
We want to get those resignations, because that is a major step that I'm very eager to move forward with.
And we don't have a, like, April or May?
No.
It's 150 days minimum for the primary once it's called. Do you have two questions? Do you have an opinion on the AG announcing he's looking at LA redistricting? And also, you said many of us are doing our best to get a hold of Mr. De Leon. Hoping you can let me know what you mean by that. Has anyone been? When was the last time you've spoken to him? Can you not?
There have been some conversations that some of my colleagues have had, not very many. And the last time I spoke with Mr. De Leon was Tuesday, in person on 2 occasions. And then the other one, I welcome our Attorney General's investigation into the whole issue of redistricting and what was said in privacy away from City Hall at everyone else, without knowledge of anyone else. I also welcome the involvement of Eric Holder, our former U.S. Attorney General. Thank you. And all hands on deck. Let's rout out corruption wherever it is found. I welcome an investigation. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much.